Hello again, and welcome to another episode with Ralph. Hope you're fine, dear lovely IELTS candidates. Well, recently you have requested a lot, and you've asked for task one IELTS writing, and especially maps, describing maps. Well, as you know, maps do not appear that much in IELTS Task 1, like, for example, bar charts or graphs, but today we're going to focus on map question. And as you can see, here's a question. The maps below show a part of a village in 1910 and the same part of the village in 2010. So it's a period of 100 years, and a Shelton village in 1910 and Shelton village in 2010. All right, in describing maps and specifically in Task 1 IELTS Writing, there are 4 paragraphs. Basically, there are 4. So the first one is introduction, then overview paragraph in which we talk about the most striking feature of this graph or map. And then we dedicate 2 body paragraphs. And here, because there are 2 maps, so one body paragraph is about 1910, and another body paragraph is 2000, describing the changes, all right? Now let's take a look at the map here in 1910. As you can see, there are 3 main roads: London Road, School Road, and High Street, all right, in which the village was bordered by these 3 major roads. And they formed a kind of triangular layout. And at the heart of this village, there is a large house which is surrounded by trees, right? And in the south part of the large house, there is a grocer and also a small house and a baker, right? And there is also post office, butcher, and school to the west. So in describing maps, we should be aware of the direction of the places here, right? So when we talk about the location of, for example, butcher, so we say to the west or to the east, all right? So as you can see, it's to the west. And there's also post office. All right, so that's it. We have to use, first of all, passive sentences in describing maps. And also, we should use words related to describing location of a place. Now, let's start writing our first paragraph, which is introduction. So, we just paraphrase the question or paraphrase the sentence. The maps below show a part of a village in 1910 and the same part of the village in 2010. So, we can say the 2 maps depict a section of a village called Shelton in 1910 and how it looked a century later. So we do not mention 2010 here. We just mention how many years is passed. So it's around a century, all right, 100 years. That's it. That's a very good question. We paraphrase the question, and we also change some points here, and we also use the word depict. Depict means to show. So instead of writing show, I've written here depict. Now, our second paragraph is overview paragraph, in which we talk about the main, let's say, feature of this map. All right, so in looking at these 2 maps, let's talk about the most striking transformation. So the most striking feature was these green, let's say, spaces that they have been actually removed, all right? And some commercial and residential areas are added in 2010, all right? So this is our most striking feature. Now, how can we say this? In writing our overview paragraph, we can start our paragraph with the word overall, comma. Overall, the most striking transformation was the removal of green spaces and the addition of several commercial and residential areas. This is my second paragraph or overview paragraph. And I wrote about the most striking feature or transformation because since we're talking about change in this map, in these maps actually, so I write about transformation. So instead of writing, let's say change, I've used the word transformation. All right, now let's just start writing Shelton Village in 1910. So I talked a little bit about this village. So we can start with the three major roads in this village. So if we want to talk about the three main roads here, we can use the word border, right, and in passive tense. So we can start our paragraph with this. In 1910, because we are talking about the date, we should definitely start our paragraph with the date. In 1910, the section of the village was bordered by three major roads. School Road to the west. This is very important. And we should talk about the location of each road. So to the west, London Road to the east, and High Street to the south. And together they formed a kind of triangular layout, which together formed a triangular layout. Now, at the heart, now we can describe the heart of this triangle. At the heart of the village stood a large house surrounded by trees, surrounded by, so you pay attention to the passive words here, right? Surrounded by trees. And now let's take a look at grocer and baker and a small house, which is in the southern part of this large house, all right? So at the heart of the village stood a large house surrounded by trees, and directly to its south, we're talking about the location of these places. To its south were a grocer, a small house, and a baker. All right. As you can see on High Street, there are also several houses, right? We can write this. Several houses were located on High Street. And take a look at School Road. There was a school, butcher, and also another house, all right? How do we know this is house? As you can see, there is a key on top of the map, and it shows that this is house, all right? It's already written here. So we can also talk about School Road, whereas along School Road, there was a school, a butcher, and another house. And there is also post office, which is at the corner of School Road and London Road. This is the last sentence that we have to write about this part. A post office stood at the corner of School Road and London Road. Now, in our next paragraph, we should talk about 2010. And as you can see, the most significant change was the disappearance of this large house, all right? And this green space, and some residential areas is actually built here. And there is also a road, as you can see, in London Road. There is also another road which branches off from London Road. So we can write first about this. By 2010, the most significant change was the disappearance of the large house and surrounding greenery to make way for something. It's a very good expression here. To make way for a new residential area. And this residential area is accessed through a road from London Road, all right? Accessed via a side road branching off from London Road. All right. What happened to the grocer? The grocer is turned into a cafe, all right? And also baker, let's say, has been removed. We can talk about this also. The grocer had been converted into a cafe. while the baker had been removed. And there is also another supermarket, as you can see. We can also talk about this. A new supermarket with an adjoining parking. Let's see, there is a parking. So when we want to talk about parking, which is actually joined to another place, we can say adjoined parking. So a new supermarket with an adjoining parking lot had occupied. Occupy is a good word here. Occupied means used by someone or something, or taken up. Occupied the area where the butcher once stood. So it means that instead of the butcher, now there is supermarket. All right. And after that, there was once a house, all right, and to the north of School Road, but right now there is bank instead of a house. We can write about this. In addition, the house to the north of School Road had been replaced by a bank. It's a nice word here, replaced by. So these are some words that you can definitely need to use if you want to talk about the change into maps. Replaced by a bank, while the post office opposite it and the school in the southwest remained unchanged. So post office remained unchanged, and also school, which was to the southwest. We can also talk about the things that have been unchanged, all right? Meanwhile, and as you can see, there are a lot of houses, right, along London Road. We can also talk about this. Meanwhile, a number of houses had been constructed along London Road and High Street. Constructed means built or put together. All right, that's it for this part, guys. In writing maps, in describing maps, there are certain words that you have to know and to use if you want to talk about the change or transformation. And don't forget, you definitely need to use a lot of passive words, right? Passive tenses here. And I guess this writing will actually get 8.5 or maybe 9 band scorers. All right, guys, that's all for today. Hope you've enjoyed this part. And for the next episode, I'm going to actually work on another Task 1 IELTS writing question. And it's going to be, I guess, line graphs. So stay tuned. We're going to focus on line graph in Task 1. And I'm going to actually cover very important things about or techniques in writing Task 1 academic writing. Until next time, enjoy your time. Stay tuned. Bye-bye.